Welcome back, students. As you will recall, our last session, we talked about the modern photographer Brett Weston. Here you can see an example of one of his works. This is the cabbage leaf. And lastly, what we discussed is creating a value scale. This value scale will help you in your next lesson. So, a chair will be the focus of your lesson project. Pick a chair that appeals to you. I want you to analyze how the chair appears with different lighting. Your chair should have a direct light source shining on it. So you can take a picture early in the morning with a window open, directly shining the light on the chair, or you can go outside maybe and on your back patio and take a picture that way. So keep in mind that how the light reflects off the chair will give you more of a contrast if you have more lighting. So arrange your chair so that it is pleasing to you. Take a picture of this chair, and then I want you to print it out on a piece of paper. This will help you use it as a reference for your project. So, once you have your piece of paper, it is a regular piece of paper, 8.5 by 11, and if you don't have any paper, try thinking outside of the box and maybe using something recycled. But the best is using paper. Okay, so what you will need for this project, like I said, paper, you need pencil, a sharpener, and a ruler. Okay? And if you do not have a ruler, you can use a straight edge on a piece of paper. So let's get into the creation of this. So for this project, I want you to draw 8 inches by 8 inches into a square, a large square. So I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to start down here. Start in the center of your page because it's going to be a square. And you want to measure 8 inches. So move this down so you can see I'm at the 8 inch. And then I'm going to flip the ruler and measure another 8 inches. Okay? And you're going to do this down here. You get 8 inches, you can see, and then another 8 inches down here. Then what you want to do is you want to divide the 8 inches by 2. And I'm going to get my smaller ruler just so you can see a little bit better. And you have 4 inches. And make a mark. And then take your ruler. You're at the 4-inch mark. Make another mark. And then you want to take your pencil and draw a line. And draw a line. So your end result will have 4 quadrants. And each quadrant will be 4 by 4 inches. Alright, so now that we've got that done, and you have your photograph printed out, what is helpful for me, and might help you as well, is to take your ruler again and make a 4 by 4 box on sections that you want to draw. So this is how you make a window. You take your ruler and you find something that you like, and then you draw a line, 4 inches, 4 inches, 4 inches, and 4 inches. Alright? So you should have 4 boxes on your piece of paper of your photograph. Okay, in this case, I chose to include the whole chair. However, I find it interesting if you're not like a great drawer, what you could do is just zoom in on something closer up or even closer. So it will become more abstract, which could be interesting. So as we move along, I'm going to show you one square. So you guys all know how to draw, but what I want to show you is you just want to make your whole composition, you want to draw it very lightly. So I'm looking at my reference right here, but it's going to be out of the frame. But I just want to let you know that I'm looking at the picture. So here I am, I'm drawing the chair, and it's good that I'm drawing it light, because if you mess up, you can erase. It's not final. Alright, so here's just one portion of the chair, right here. Okay, so I would continue along, sketching out all 4 boxes. Then once I've done that, I would go more into detail. Something that I want to remind you guys of is your value scale. This is when the value scale comes in handy. So in my value scale, I mostly use blending. Okay, so I'm going to have this in front of me while I'm making my 4 chairs. So I have my 4 chairs completed, and I want to show you guys some techniques in case you are unsure if you're done yet. So what I like to do is to make sure if I have good contrast, one final touch that I like to do is to take my pencil, if you can see that, and I like just to make the darks darker. That way it pops a little bit more. And you can see this is underneath the chair, so I've made it darker. And over here is underneath the chair, so I'm going to make it darker. Something interesting that you might want to consider is switching up your pencil. So I've been using a pencil for this whole thing. However, if you have a mechanical pencil laying around, feel free to use that. This will make it easier to make more mechanical lines. So if you chose cross-hatching in your drawing, it will help it be more of a point. Okay? And also, I want to make another point, and that don't be afraid to use your eraser. So because my chair is made out of wood, and I want to have some texture of wood, I can use my eraser to erase, and that makes a mark making. And then I'll go ahead and I take my mechanical pencil and I go in the other direction. This will make it more wood-like. So take that into consideration when you are making your 4 chairs. And I would also like to point out before I leave you guys is that, like I said, if you want to draw your entire chair, be mindful that you will be having to include a lot of details. And it would probably look more realistic versus if you close up on just a portion of the chair, like I said, making those boxes on your picture, you will see it become more abstract. Okay, so there really is no, if you want to make it abstract, you can, or if you want to make it realistic, you can. So the choice is up to you. At this point, I'm going to break, and it's time for you to start thinking about your chair.